What is up, YouTube? It's Kingfisher745, and hopefully most of you saw my last video where I recruited Shanna. I was definitely lucky to be able to recruit her early, and currently she's on her way to level 8. That means I should have her at level 9 by maybe sometime tomorrow morning. I'll definitely have a PvP video at level 9 as soon as possible. But you know what? Just because I haven't leveled her to 9 just yet, doesn't mean I haven't tried her out in PvP. I already recorded a practice match at level 6, and I'll show you that in the second half of this video. First, I just want to go over all of her abilities, and I'll give you my impressions on the character. What we have is the classic Shanna the She-Devil costume, and she is an infiltrator that has 2 passives. First, Hunter-Gatherer. Reduces incoming damage from poisoned attackers by 20%. She will also perform follow-up attacks on a single target attack against poisoned targets. Then secondly, she has the Spirit of the Savage Land. Attacks that would reduce health to 0 have a chance to reduce health to 1% instead. So that's not too bad, and one thing I know for sure is you definitely want to place poison on your enemies. Moving on to her level 1 ability, it is called Spear Vault. It's an unarmed melee attack that causes winded, hobbled, and cornered. So a few things you may notice there. It is a melee attack, so Juggernaut, Moonstone, etc. could help her out. It also has some opportunist debuffs, so characters like Wasp could really go well with her. Plus, Wasp has biofeedback, which counts as poison, by the way. Her second ability is a multi-function, and the first function is called Scorpion Sting. This attack causes poisoned, neutralized, and gives her Tiger's Fury. This buff increases attack and defense. It increases when attacked, and it stacks up to 2 times. Next we have the Pinning Prick. It also causes poison, which all these attacks do, but it adds staggered and gives Shanna nimble, so 50% chance to avoid melee and ranged attacks. Then moving on to the third option, it's called Serpent Strike. It places poisoned, off balance, and gives Shanna Berserker. She will have a chance to join in on an ally's attack, and she'll have a chance to retaliate when an ally is hit by single target attacks. So yes, all these attacks have poison in common, but they also place one additional debuff that happens to be an opportunist debuff. Then moving on to her level 6, it's called Nature's Bounty, and it is a buff heal. It's a pretty large single target heal that also removes debuffs, and it gives Shanna gaining ground. She will take 2 actions after a full round. Now, since this is a buff heal, you can actually use Captain Marvel with her. Then after Captain Marvel gives her Rally, this will become a quick action. That means so far we have a couple team-ups for Shanna, including Wasp and Captain Marvel. That's in addition to any biofeedback or poison character, or anyone who can apply or exploit opportunist debuffs. Then lastly, her level 9 is called Off the Vine. It's a stealthy attack that applies Flanked and Disoriented. Unfortunately, you won't see this ability quite yet because she's only level 6 in this video. But still, I think there's some pretty interesting stuff in this PvP match. I also want to mention some of the weapons that you could try out with Shanna. If you're like me, the Custom Spitting Viper is probably one of your best poison options. But if you're lucky enough to win the Gaseous Glider from this Spec Ops, it'll actually apply poison to all enemies at once. That weapon drops off the epic boss in Mission 3. And we have a few days left to try to get it. Moving on to our PvP preview, we are using Captain Marvel along with Shanna. Keep in mind she's only a level 6 in this video. The enemy Quicksilver happens to be a scrapper and he goes right after her. Luckily I was fortunate enough to get the Raft Shank, so that's going to make him pay. Next we will use Absorb Energy as a quick action. That's because I placed the Quick and Powered ISO 8 on Captain Marvel. Then by using Photon Blast, we give Rally to our entire team. Rally will cause the next buff action to become a quick action. So now Nature's Bounty is a quick action buff heal, and we're going to use it on Captain Marvel to restore her health. Next we're going to target their agent who must be using the Signpost. Shanna is a huge fan of any opponent using the Signpost. The reason for this is because they apply poison to themselves. This perfectly sets up her Hunter-Gatherer passive ability. That's the one that reduces incoming damage from poison attackers by 20%. And it also performs a follow-up attack on single target attacks against poisoned targets. This means her first attack on an agent using the signpost, and every attack after is going to give her a free follow-up. So thank you, signpost users. Now Kree Strike on Quicksilver unfortunately wasn't enough damage to take him out. So of course he once again goes after Shanna, but the Raft Shank stops his follow-up. She can also apply Winded with her first ability so she can stop them herself. Truthfully, I think she's a pretty decent utility character because she does have Off Balance, Winded, and many other debuffs on her attacks that can really hurt the enemy's defense. Winded, Hobbled, Cornered, and Off Balance, for example. Too bad we didn't have Off Balance on Rogue just yet. Her counterattacks can be downright insane, but at least she did miss Shanna with her Drain Essence. So now we're definitely going to use Serpent Strike, and that does apply Off Balance. Now on my agent's turn I'm going to use the Mystic, and that should be enough damage to end this fight. So that's going to be it for our quick first look at Shanna, but make sure to stay tuned because tomorrow we'll have her at level 9, and there will be a lot more PvP action. Lastly, I'd like to thank you all for watching, and ask you to please like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, good luck, and take care.